There is no more surefire way to confuse a guitar player than by taking a chord and adding either a number or a word after it. For example, a suspended chord. Just the word suspended seems to cause chaotic guitar player anxiety. One of the easiest ways to see a suspended chord is this D chord right here. And there's like a million rock songs that use D, D sus4, suspended 4, D sus2, suspended 4. There's a million, you know. But beyond just D, that one's an easy one because you're really just taking your fingers and kind of altering a chord. But to really fundamentally understand what you're doing is going to help you out in your playing, is going to help you to create suspended chords off of different root notes and just make you a better musician in general. So we're going to stick with this D chord right here and see what it's all about. Now, it's all derived from the major scale, as always. So if we're playing in the key of D, you don't even have to remember these notes, but it's helpful to visually see it. If we're playing in the key of D, we have a D, an E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, a D major chord is comprised of the first, third, and fifth notes. Now, all a suspended chord is it's taking that third, in this case, D, E, F sharp, it's taking an F sharp and it's suspending that third to either the fourth or the second note in the scale. So this D right here, there's the F sharp. Now what we're doing here is we're changing this F sharp to a G. So as you can see, D, E, F sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a D suspended 4. We're taking the fourth note and replacing the third note, suspending the third to the fourth. Now when you take your middle finger away, what you're really doing is you're taking this F sharp and making it an E. So we have the first, the second, and the fifth. So really, it doesn't give you a major or a minor sound. It just kind of gives you a suspended sound, for better or worse. Now this is just one position that kind of makes it accessible. Another one is A. That's another one you can kind of really get to the open chords. Now, something that'll make your playing more intricate is taking them off of different root notes. So, for example, let's take this G right here. You don't see a lot of G suspended chords, but when you hear them, they're really pretty cool. So this shape right here is a great example, a great visual example of what a suspended chord is really doing. Now, again, if we're going off the G major scale, now our notes are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, so in a G major chord, we're taking the first, third, and fifth notes, which are G, B, and D. So if we wanted to make a suspended 4 chord, we would replace the third, B, with the fourth note, C. So a G, a C, and a D. Now, in a chord like this, it's kind of hard to play that because the B is here and the C is here. So what you might want to do is add an octave of a suspended 2 chord. So a suspended G sus2 would be a G, an A, and a D. And again, see, these are on the same string, so I can't play them at the same time in this position. What I can do is I can add the octave A to what's like a power chord, 1, 5, and I think that's like a really cool chord right there. Now, another interesting thing about suspended chords is they can be interpreted different ways. That's another word that kind of throws maybe starting musicians off. Like, I'm really interpreting this chord as a D sus2, whatever. I don't know. That's kind of stupid, but it makes a lot of sense once you kind of see what's going on. Now, again, I said this G suspended 2 chord, okay? G is 1, D is 5, A is 2. Now, this can actually be a different chord depending on how you interpret the root. This is true for any suspended 2 chord. It can be a suspended 4 chord for a different note. In this case, the 5th. So again, that might be kind of confusing at first, but if you just take the notes, G, D, and A, we can rearrange those notes in different ways. We can look at G as 1, 1, 2, A is 2, and D is 5. But what if we were in the D major scale again, where D is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now G is 4, and A is 5. So we have two different combinations of G, D, and A. Now, in guitar world, usually the root, the lowest note you're playing, is kind of the one that takes the most precedence. So I would really almost always think of this as a G suspended 2 chord, but it could be a D suspended 4 chord. The bigger lesson here is that any suspended 2 chord is also considered a suspended 4 chord of the 5th note from which it's played. Another thing of confusion I kind of want to clear up is the difference between a suspended chord and an add 9 chord. You've probably seen the chord C, add 9, something like this. Now what we're doing here is we're taking a C major chord, which we have a C, E, a G, again from the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's the 1, 3, and 5 of a C major scale. Now what we're doing when we play a C add 9 chord, we're adding a D. Now you might be thinking, well, D is the second note of the C major scale, C, D. Why isn't this a C suspended 2? It's a great question. But what's actually happening is we're taking, instead of replacing the E here, which is the third, the major third of a C chord, instead of replacing the E with a D, we're adding a D to a C chord. So there's a distinction between replacing a third and suspending a third. And that's why we end up with chords like C add 9 as compared to C suspended 2, in which case we would take an E, get rid of it, and then replace it with a D. So anyways, suspended chords. There you go. Never fear them again.